Hello everyone, I'm Naranja and I'm your instructor in this beginner level machine learning course of Udemy. In this whole course, we are going to learn what is a machine learning and what is its impacts on industries and how it's important for us. What are the types of machine learning like supervised learning, unsupervised learning and reinforcement learning. We will also learn what is the basic introduction of the neural network. I'm also going to teach you how can you implement all these to solve your real-time problems with the Scikit-Learn Python. So if you are new with the machine learning and you want to get started without complex mathematics, then this course is especially for you guys. After the end of the course, you will get a certificate of completion that you can use for your showcase on your resume. Hope you enjoy this course. Have a great day.
Hello everyone, welcome to Learning Champ. I'm Naranja and I'm very much excited to announce you this is my first playlist of a machine learning, and in this video I'm going to talk about the introduction of a machine learning. So let's get started.
So guys, let me simply ask a simple question. If I ask 2 plus 4, then answer is very similar. But in certain scenarios, computers are very much good at calculations. For example, if a human has to calculate this much amount of a number, then a human will definitely take some amount of time to calculate this. But computer can do with just a one click. And in other scenarios, if I simply ask to search a record from a millions of record, human will take a large amount of time, but computers or machines can do with a nanoseconds. So guys, as we have seen, computers are very much good at good, efficient and very much faster than humans at some of the tasks. So we require machine to be learn things as humans do. So what is machine learning actually means? Machine learning is a set of techniques to make computers better at doing things that humans traditionally can do better than machines. In other words, I can simply say that it is a technique to teach a machine, or a machine can learn things as human do. So to understand how actually machine learning works, we must know how a human learns things from the different scenarios or different environments, and similarly a machine can learn as human do. So guys, here is the example of our brain. Our brain consists of a different thousand or millions of neurons, which whenever we think or whenever we take any kind of decision, some of the neurons is being light up. And in this there is a synapses, as we can see from here. There is a synapses which is responsible for transmitting information, or which is a connection of a different neurons. Whenever we think a particular chemical reaction occurs, and in this way we can think and take decision. This is a general and simple structure of a artificial neural network, which in which different round circles are the neurons, and these arrows are the synapses. Suppose guys, you have a baby, and you are teaching your baby like this is a cow by just telling this picture, this is a cow. And in her mind, actually how it is working, some of the neurons, as we can see, some of the neurons is being light up, and some of the synapses is being become more stronger. And by these of the information, and the output neurons, which is corresponds for the cow and car, and the only cow becomes light up. So this is just a basic example. We are giving the training to our baby, and in this way our baby learns, or a human learns from a picture or from the data to learns the new things. And similarly, in other day, a baby simply asked, what is this animal? And we just simply teach them, this is a cow. That in the yesterday we just taught her this is a cow, and by the same picture some of the other neurons as well as the previous neurons becomes more stronger, and the output neuron becomes more light up. And in this way synapses becomes light up, and some of the neurons affects according to the some of the data. and in this way a baby learns. And we can take also example of a car. For example, we taught our baby, like from this image, this is a car, and by using this, in her mind, different other neurons except these three neurons will activate it, and the neuron output corresponds for the car activated for whenever she sees for a car or whenever she thinks for a car. So in this way a baby learns. Actually, in our mind there are thousands or millions of neurons, which different neurons and synapses, or we can say the weights, is being adjusted, and it changed according to the time, or we can say not according to the time but according to the training. As many times we are giving the training to our mind, our neurons and synapses is being adjusted, and accordingly output layer is also being adjusted. So in this way humans learns the things. So guys, from this we can say that we are actually extracting the information, or our baby's mind is just extracting the information by just watching the pictures, and in this way she knows how to learn the things. Machine learning is a really very broader term. In this deep learning and mathematical statistics comes also. uh, in the machine learning there is a lot of growth. For example, speech recognition, in which a computer can understand the spoken words by a human. Computer vision, like a computer can see the images and can understand so many things. And so many other growth are also available, like medical outcomes analysis, robot control, computational biology, and so on. And except this, machine learning is generally divided into three major categories, like supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and reinforcement learning, which we'll see in the next upcoming videos. I'm going to explain all these things broadly about these of the topics. One basic and amazing example of machine learning is the face recognition. Facebook is using the face recognition model to generate a large amount of a large and great amount of a model which can tag your images for everyone. And Google is also using the machine learning algorithms to detect whether a particular email is a spam or not spam. And Amazon is also using the recommendation system. It's just all examples of a machine learning which can be used by machines to learn from them, and they can do better things, because there are thousands and millions of records are available in Facebook, Amazon, and other server. To process those data, it's not a that much easy deal for a human, and in those kinds of tasks machines are very much good at. So that's why we have to go for a machine learning techniques in which machine can similarly copy the learning concepts of a human as human is learning, and they can do very much efficiently and a faster way. So thank you so much guys, thank you so much for watching this video. And if you have any query, and if you have any kind of idea, and if you want a particular kind of video, please let me know in a comment box. I'll be happy for that. And please, if you like this video, please like, share, and comment. Thank you so much. Hey guys, welcome to Learning Champ. In our previous video, we have learned the sum of these concepts. The first one is what is machine learning, and the second one is general introduction of a neural network, or I can say main idea behind the machine learning. The third one is scope of a machine learning and how machine learning is involving in human lives and what are their impacts on industries. And the last one is real-time applications of a machine learning and how industries are using machine learning to make smarter things like Facebook tagging mechanism. So guys, in this video we are going to learn about the types of a learning. The first one is supervised learning, and the second one is unsupervised learning. Last and my favorite one is my reinforcement learning. So let's get started. So guys, what is supervised learning? As the name is suggesting, it is a type of learning About unsupervised learning. Unsupervised learning works without any guidance or any supervision. In this, labels and annotations are not available. Let's have a look at its example. In this situation, machine's brain will tend to group the inputs according to their features. Please note, grouping is also known as clustering. In this diagram, we can see our machine's brain has grouped the fruits according to their color, which is also a feature, which doesn't have any label. As we can see from this example, like we have provided the inputs to our machine's brain and it has successfully grouped according to their colors. Unsupervised learning is also of two types, clustering and association. Grouping unlabeled data according to their features is known as clustering, whereas finding the relationship between the two clusters is known as association. Or I can say how actually clusters are correlated to each other. So, it's time to know about reinforcement learning. Reinforcement learning is a goal-based learning. In this learning, machine's brain employs a trial and error method to come up a solution. Or in other words, computer performs experiments with the environment to achieve a goal. Now, question is how it's being done. As we can see, here we have a mouse in the form of computer. Computer first observes the environment and then it tries to take some action in a particular environment. If it's a good action, then computer will be rewarded for that, or else it will be penalized for that. In this example, as we can see, here we have a robot and computer has first analyzed the environment and it tried to touch the fire. For that, computer is penalized of -50 points. Now computer knows to avoid fire, so with reward and penalties mechanism, computer learns things from its own. Congratulations guys, you have successfully completed the types of a machine learning. So hope you enjoyed this video and use your own supervised brain.
We learned the types of learning in part 2, supervised learning, unsupervised learning and reinforcement learning. Part 2 is recommended for this video. In this video, we are going to write our first Hello World program under 3 steps. This video is mainly divided into 2 parts. In part 1, we'll implement supervised learning with linear regression algorithm. And in part 2, we'll understand the basic mathematics behind the linear regression. So let's get started. Let's write a machine learning program within 3 steps. Step 1. First we will make some samples of data to train our machine learning model. To do so, we'll create some sample to predict the house price according its size. Please note, size of house is a feature and its price will be annotation, or we can say its label. It's a regression type supervised learning, so annotation will be numerical value, not a categorical value. Let's do it quickly. Now, open Microsoft Excel and add some sample dataset with house size and its price. We have entered the data successfully. Here we can see our area is a data and whereas our price is an annotation, or we can say label, because it is of regression type. And now we will give this data to our machine learning or machine's brain so that computer can learn from this data and in future it can predict for the new values. To do so, we'll save this as a CSV extension. Step 1 is done. Let's go for a step 2. In step 2, we will write our machine learning program using Scikit Learn with Python. For this, open your browser, go to URL pipeline.ai, click on try it now click on Jupyter Notebooks on the left hand side. First, we have to upload the dataset that recently we have just created. Click on Upload. Now, click on New Python 3 Notebook. As you can see, our new notebook untitled.ipynb and our dataset house.csv is created. Now, click on Untitled file and don't worry guys about these lines. Click on plus icon and add some of the libraries which are necessary. Click on Libraries cell and you can click on Run button to run this cell. And I have already added one more cell. Now let's use Pandas library to read our house.csv dataset that we have just recently created. We will use pd.readcsv method to read our house file, house.csv, and we will store in a df which is named as data frame.
Now let's use Matplotlib PLT object that we have just recently created to visualize the dataset. Let's write code for that.
We will use plt.xLabel to define the label on the x side, and we will use ylabel to define the label on the y side. Whereas title is being used to give the title to our graph. I'm just giving the rough title. And we'll use the scatter method to plot our data in a scatter way. And we have to use Matplot inline magic to display our graph. Let's run it.
As we can see from this graph, if the area is increasing, price is also increasing gradually. In such a way, we can plot graphs to analyze the data.
Now, it's time to give this data to machine's brain so that computer can learn from this data and can help us to predict the new outcomes. So let's write code for that. First, we will store the area column in a single variable which is known as area. And now, it's time to store the price column in a price variable. Now we have different columns in a different variables. Now we have to create a linear regression object that we have just created with the help of linear model. Now let's call reg.fit method which will accept our area and price. As you can see, our model has successfully created. Now we can use this model to predict the future outcomes. Step 2 is also done. Let's predict the price of house with unknown data. Unknown data is that data which is not actually present in our house.csv. We'll use the reg object that we have just created here, and it's having a method reg.predict. It generally accepts 2D array, and in that array I have to pass the area which I have to predict, and this is the area. It's not actually present in my house.csv. Let's run this cell. As you can see, it's giving the price for that. It is actually examining the training data, and according to that pattern, according to that feature that it has extracted from there, it is actually giving me the price. So guys, similarly, you can create your own data set and you can use Scikit Learn to train a machine learning model. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Have a great day.
In our previous video, we learned how can we write our first machine learning program under
equation from your high school days, which is y is equal to mx plus c. This is a general equation of a line, and according to our scenario, the equation can be overwritten as home price is equal to mx plus c, or we can say m cross area plus b. In this example, we can compare that our x is a area and our y is our home price, which I need to predict, whereas m and b are the slope and intercept respectively. In other words, m and b are the tweaking like a sliders, which can be used to adjust the line according to our dataset. As we can see, if I manually change the value of m, our line will behave like this. And if I manually tweak the value of b, then our line is behaving on the y-axis, which is like this. This is quite interesting, guys. Please note, m and b are also known as weights, which can be used further in a deep neural network. Now, we have to set the values of m and b in such a way that our line should touch most of the data points. Or we can say we have to find out the best fit line. To do so, Scikit Learn starts with the random value of m and c, suppose 0.3 and 0.4 respectively. Once it's done, we'll find out the difference, the actual point and the line, which is random at this time. Please note, is our best fit line. We can fill this in our equation, which is price equal to m cross area plus b, and we can calculate easily the prediction. Please note, this is a general idea of a linear regression, not actual calculation. We'll see the actual calculation when we'll implement gradient descent from scratch. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial.
Quick recap. In our previous video, we have learned how can a machine learning program can be written under 3 steps and the mathematics behind the linear regression algorithm. The agenda of this video is really very special. If you are familiar with any programming language, an addition program is the first and one of the easiest tasks that a beginner might love to do. And to do so, one and only instruction C equal to A plus B is given to the computer in any programming language to perform this task. This is quite easy, guys. But have you ever thought that computer can learn the addition of two numbers by simply just watching the data without explicitly programming? If not, please watch this video till the end. You will fall in love with machines by their capabilities. So let's get started. In step 1, create a dataset for training. I have already made a dataset and saved it as add.csv just to save the time. If you are not familiar with creating a dataset, please watch my previous video to get more. Links are in description. And on the right hand side, as you can see, I have the simplified version of my dataset. You can verify it. This is showing the relationship between the dataset. For example, 2 plus 2 is a 4, 8 plus 9 is a 17, and these are the some of the general examples of addition so that computer can learn from it. So great, first step is completed. We have successfully created a dataset and we will provide this dataset to computer for training. In step 2, open the Chrome browser, or you can open any kind of browser and go to the URL pipeline.ai. Once you have reached this page, click on Try It Now. On the left hand side, you will see the Jupyter notebooks and click over there. Finally, our Jupyter notebook is opened and we have to upload the dataset that recently we have just created. Add.csv. Upload. Now click on New Python 3 notebook. We will import the some of the required libraries which are required for the training of our machine learning model. Click on a cell and click on the Run button. As you can see, the number has increased. It means our cell has successfully ran without any error. Now let's try to read the data from add.csv using Pandas. I will store in a data frame variable and I will read using pd.read_csv method. Our file name is add.csv. If I'll simply write df means data frame, it will show the whole data frame. If I require to see only the sum part, I can do also. As you can see, the only sum column is being displayed. And if I want to check the only a variable, or I can say a column, I can simply differentiate. Create another cell. In this process, we have to create the features and labels differentiate so that we can give these two variables to the machine for the training purpose. Let's just create two variables, features, and store all of the features inside this feature variable. It is a 2-dimension, that's why I have used a square bracket. Labels, which is our sum part. Use Ctrl plus Enter to run a particular cell. Create a linear regression object using linear model object and store it in a reg variable. We will use reg.fit method for the training. It requires only two variables, features and the labels that recently we just extracted from our dataset. Now run this cell. As you can see, linear regression model has been created. So congratulations guys, step 2 is also completed. Now let's go forward for the prediction. So our model has been created. Now it's time to predict for the unknown values. Unknown values are those values which are not actually present in the add.csv file. Let's now use the reg.predict method to predict the new outcomes. Now let's ask few questions like a value is 23 and b value is again 23. Now let's see what's the prediction comes. As you can see, the addition is 46. It's really correct. Now I'm going to add another cell here and predict the new values. I'm going to replace a as a 45 and b as a 10. Now let's see. As you can see, the answer is correct. Once again, let's try with little larger value. 1000 value of A, 2000 value of B. As you can see, it has predicted the right outcomes. So our computer machine has learned addition from that given data. So congratulations guys, you have made a first machine learning program that can learn addition program without explicitly program. So guys, if you like the video, please like, share and subscribe, and all the source code and dataset will be present in the description. Hello guys, welcome to Learning Champ. In this video we are going to learn unsupervised learning. We will use k-means clustering to get the information from the unlabeled dataset. This video is actually dependent on my previous video, so if you haven't watched those videos, please watch and let's get started. Guys, I have already written this code just to save the time, and I'm going to explain each and every line so that you can also be able to write this code from scratch. First, we have to import all the required libraries as I have imported here. The first one is the sklearn, which I will use for the k-means clustering algorithm. And the second one is the Pandas, which is specifically used to read the CSV kind of dataset, or I can use to read any kind of dataset. Except this, I will be also using sklearn for the min-max scaler that we will use in the upcoming cells when we will execute them. And the last one is the Matplotlib. As we also know, it is popular library just to visualize all kinds of data. So we will use all these are the libraries to perform k-means clustering algorithm. So let's run it. Now let's read the dataset from the CSV file, which is in the income.csv using read_csv method, and let's print the 5 rows using the head method. As you can see here, I have the 3 major columns, which is name, age and income, and we will use this information to get the particular information that is actually behind this dataset, because it doesn't have any kind of label. Now let's just try to plot this data inside Matplotlib, and from the Matplotlib, as I can see, there are 3 kinds of clusters are available, and this code I have explained in my previous video. So if you haven't watched those videos, I will recommend to watch those videos first. Now from just an idea, I can assume that I have the 3 major clusters here. Now what I will do, I will create an object of a k-means, that a method that just I have imported from sklearn cluster, and I will create an object of k-means, and by using that I will try to predict how many kinds of clusters would be possible. This cell will contain the object which is in the form of km, and inside it I'm also providing the number of clusters, which is approximately 3. In this example, we used age and income for the prediction, because from name we can't prefer it as a good or relevant feature. So if I combine the predicted outputs to our actual dataset, we can see the results below. And now I have 3 major columns, which is name, age, income, and the clusters which is being predicted by the k-means clustering algorithm. We can also see the center of clusters by using km.clusters_centers_ and plot them in a Matplotlib. These are some of the clusters which is being predicted by the k-means clustering algorithm. If I plot this in a graph using Matplotlib, as we can see, these some of the stars are the centroids, and somehow these are centroids are wrongly predicted, right? Now what's the reason for this? This is because we are using 2 columns with different unit, like age has different unit of measure and income has different unit of measure. So these are creating kind of noises, which is to create those centroids. To get rid of this, we will use min-max scalar to make age and income as a standardized feature. We just have to use the fit and transform method to get the standardized data, and we'll merge with our actual data frame. As we can see, our age and income now is being transformed between 0 to 1. And once again I have to plot the whole data set, and once again I have to make the prediction again. If I try to plot a graph by using this data set, I can see my centroid has predicted really very good. Now, the question is arising, how would I get to know how many kinds of clusters would be possible in a particular data set? Because this is a very small data set, we can easily predict like these are having 3 clusters. But there can be so much hectic data set which can contain thousands of clusters. How would I get to know which cluster method or which cluster number is a preferable? So we will use the elbow plot. By using this much of code, it will plot our age and column, and by using this it will create km.inertia, and it will plot a simple graph. And it will create a simple graph in such a way it shows like a knee, or I can say the elbow. And I have to take up that point which acts like a knee. As I can see here, 3 is acting as an elbow, and I have to predict, or our computer has predicted the right value. So guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please like, share and comment.